the longer you do this job, as you guys know, we all do this. You know, it can happen any night,
anytime.
You know what I mean? Like, and then you start thinking about like, man, should I keep doing this? It could happen the next night or the night after. You know, you just never know, because that night you didn't expect that to happen.
It's bad enough, you know, I was involved directly right in the heat of it during the K Street shooting, and unfortunately, another member of our show and host of our show was also involved in this situation and working at the venue that this took place in front of. So I want to give, you know, the mic opportunity for, you know, Warren in this situation. Like, man, like, how you feeling about this? Like, where your mental's at?
Honestly, it's tragic, man. It's tragic. When you go to work every night, it's not something you think you're going to experience. You know what I mean? And with it actually happening, you know, it feels like something straight out of a movie. You know, it's like, man, like, is this real right now? You know what I mean? Like, you're really going through it. Like, is this shit real? Like, when it's really popping off, you know? And it's like, it's like a blur between reality and like I said, a movie, you know. But you gotta bring everything together when it's actually going down. You gotta see if everybody is okay around you, and then you gotta just assess the situation. But I mean, mentally, me where I'm at right now, it's just I'm doing a lot of reflecting, you know, because the longer you do this job, as you guys know, we all do this. You know, it can happen any night,
anytime.
You know what I mean? Like, and then you start thinking about like, man, should I keep doing this? It could happen the next night or the night after. You know, you just never know, because that night you didn't expect that to happen. And with it being so close to 4th of July, when something like that happens, you hear gunshots. Man, you don't know if it's fireworks or gunshots. I know, like, when it actually was going down, a guy got up and he was just like, "Oh man, it's fireworks. Everybody's good. Everybody's okay." You know, and honestly, I felt relieved like instantly when I heard him say like, "Oh, it's fireworks." I'm like, "Thank God, man. Thank God." You know what I mean? But you're still looking around because you're unsure. You're still looking around to make sure everybody's okay, you know? But like reliving the moment, you know, after hearing the guy say it was gunshots, me walking back to the venue door and then seeing somebody just run as fast as they can to us, saying there's somebody dying at the corner. Like, man, like I'm going to relive that like every day. You know what I mean? Because I don't know how you guys was raised, man. I was never raised around gunshots. Never raised where I'm going to bed and I'm hearing gunshots before I go to bed. You know what I mean? I grew up in a neighborhood where everybody knew each other. There was no guns. You know what I mean? It was a peaceful. Everybody knew each other. Like, I never grew up around that. So to see something go down like that, man, it's crazy, man. It's an eye opener. You know what I mean? And it definitely has me reflecting about what do I want to do with this.
I experienced what I experienced. I think that was a conversation and a thought process that many of us that not just work in security, but just working in the nightlife in general, really started contemplating and asking themselves that question: is it worth it?
Right.
Is it worth it to keep doing it? You know, and I think, and granted, no matter what your decision is to keep on or get out, there's no wrong answer with it. I just knew for me, I wasn't going to let the fear dictate my decision.
Right.
If I'm going to make my, I know for me, if it was my decision that I was going to make, I said it was going to be based on my own, you know, assessment, my own knowledge, my own intelligence, and decide and make at that moment what I'm going to decide to do. And I wasn't going to let fear dictate what the outcome was going to be. Now that's
Very
easy.
true.
Now that's easy for me to say.
Hey.
That's easy for me to say, but I wanted to ask you, like, how do you feel about that? Is that something that, I know that question you've probably been asking yourself ever since the 4th. Like, is this really worth it? Do you want to continue on doing this? Is this something that you want to, you know what, I want to take a step back?
Right.
You know, is it really worth it? Like right now, Sacramento seems to be going through a transition, and not a good one. What questions are arriving to yourself on that?
I mean, for me, since it's happened, that's all I've been thinking about. I mean, is it worth it? Is it worth coming back? You know, and I mean, everybody, like my family, friends, they're just like, "What are you doing?" You know what I mean? Like, it's not worth it. Like, you don't need it.
Come on, bro.
You know?
I think he
Like,
answered
Come
the
on,
question.
I know what you're really telling them.
I think he
know you're
answered
really
it.
looking at your family like, you don't know about that smooth.
That
I just want to make it feel a little better. Like, okay, I feel like I'm a little bulletproof right now.
This guy.
I mean, the smooth, I ain't gonna lie, the smooth handshakes is nice, but man, like when you come down to it, man, the smooth handshake ain't worth it, man. You know, especially like, you know, when you got little one. Believe me, that night we was getting some smooth handshakes. I mean, it was smooth, real smooth. But I mean, what happened that night just throws all that out the window.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like that, all that's irrelevant. Seriously, it's all irrelevant. If I could give back all that just to take back what happened that night, I would.
Yeah, I feel
Can
you there.
we
know
go
what I
back
mean?
to
Go ahead. I know you want to ask a question.
right,
Go ahead.
Because I know you
already
said,
know what's
is it worth
coming.
it? I know you said, you know, is it worth it? I'm not going to let the fear dictate. I'm going to say this, Rob. I wish you would have worked with us at a specific club. Because I ain't never, ever since we worked at multiple clubs. We worked at probably like, 6 or 7 clubs
Quite a
now
few.
here in Sacramento.
few.
And I'm going to tell you right now, there was one. That you,
about 5 for me, yeah.
right. There was one you didn't get to work at. Oh, my God. We got
But you know why I didn't?
Oh, yeah, because of how crazy it was. And
No,
we
it
wasn't
wasn't because
getting
of
paid.
crazy. Yeah, y'all niggas wouldn't get
Get
paid.
paid.
I don't
Yeah,
care about
that
the
part.
craziness.
That part.
I care about
That
getting
part.
paid.
But can you remember every night? I mean, we ain't going to bring up the club, but
Stingray. Stingray.
Yeah,
Stingray.
Stingray. You know,
Stingray?
the one that got the brother, the Australian
Didn't
dude.
8 people die? Something like that. It was crazy. That's why when they said, you know, that was the biggest mass shooting, I was like, I thought they had more at the other Stingray place. But anyways, bro, every night people was walking out. Oh, coming back. I'm going to blast you. I'm like, all right.
Yeah, it
like,
was.
shit. I got a chopper. I'm going to come back.
Oh,
Like,
facts.
I thought, well, damn,
Facts.
is he going to fly? Because I didn't know what a chopper was until I knew it was a...
This nigga.
Hey, I remember. I know what you're talking about.
Okay.
I remember.
Get in the
depth
chopper.
with- yeah, I got in depth with a nigga. He was like, I got snipers on the roof right now about to shoot you. And I was like, that ass? Hold on. Tell him to put the dot on me real quick. Tell him to put a dot on me. I want to see. Where they at? I started looking up on the rooftops to see if they was up there. Yeah. But like every night we got threatened. I couldn't believe like how much people hated security at this specific Stingray place.
There was even a night where a rookie NFL player was up in that bitch, and them niggas it was outside, but still got in an argument, and niggas was talking about going to the trunk, pulling it, you know. So it's just.
Do you remember when they told me and you were the only 2 guards that night that were willing to kick some people out, but
Yeah.
everybody else was like, no, don't mess with them.
Nah,
they
fuck
part of that
no.
crew. We were like,
I
no,
don't,
they
I
out.
don't give a fuck about
They
that
smoking
shit.
weed in the bathroom.
Fuck
They out.
that.
We
We got an attitude. We gonna figure the attitude out later. But as of right now, nigga, get them up out of here.
Right.
Gone. Shit, I don't give a fuck.
It didn't happen though because they were too scared. They didn't want them to come back and shoot up the place, which they ended up when we quit a week later, shot up the whole place. And then there were some people that ran and crawled and were found dead later the next day. It was crazy.
Damn.
But there was it was nuts.
And what's
but-
sad though is because I quit that place because them motherfuckers was playing with the money. You don't
That's
play
the
with
reason why I
money.
didn't jump on. But you know, you guys speak to it. You know, just what you was just talking about. You know, security always seems to be in the middle of that.
Facts.
Yeah.
We're always in that in between line between the patrons and the aggressors. And it's our job to try to diffuse it as best as possible. But we're doing it with, you know, empty hands.
Right.
Unarmed.
That's
what
facts.
I mean. Like, so we have to use our words. We have to use our tact,
De-escalate.
our intelligence. You use to, you know, that's pretty much all you got because I ain't got no weapon.
Right.
Pretty much all I got is the 2 fists in front of me. But I only can use that as if you attacking me because you're gonna sue me if I go first.
Right.
So
That
I
part.
gotta wait for me to get swung on. So my defense is I gotta be on my toes first, so make you miss, and then I can drop you.
Right.
But
Facts.
before that, we have to use our, you know, communication skills.
Gotta use your
always
words.
having to de-escalate.
Got
And
to.
how many times is it where we've had to de-escalate situations where we knew it could have went further than that?
Facts.
Where we knew that if we hadn't stepped in and had that conversation with them, that this thing could have went really left.
Preach,
or
preacher.
Or as me and my homie, Escada.
Preach.
Could have went Escada.
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 To the left.
It's happening.